present with John Prine. It is from Norton Publishing. In the spring of 2020, John Prine had finally decided to write a memoir, and he decided that Tom Piazza was the man to help him do it. They decided to meet and do some tape recordings, and they met the first time in the spring of 2020, and Tom brought his tape recorder, and you can imagine the stories that Prine told into this story, into the tape recorder about his early days in Chicago and growing up in Kentucky, where he would spend his summers. The first bunch of success that he had with that first album, almost overwhelming, wonderful stories. And there would not be a second session. COVID intervened, and John Prine passed away, leaving this book that y'all had planned together unfinished, and leaving Tom to finish what they had started, and the result is Living in the Present with John Prine. It is wonderful, it is warm, heartwarming, it's smart, as you might imagine, it's funny, and boy, you guys could sure eat. It'll make you hungry too, y'all. Please welcome Tom Piazza. All right, man, beautiful, beautiful book. Thank you so much for writing it.
Thanks, Jim.
Such a great job. I did want to ask you, y'all became such fast friends. You knew about him, and he actually possessed one of your books and knew about you, but you had not met till he came to New Orleans, where you live. You saw him play, y'all met, and you became such fast friends. And you know, when you meet he's a hero of mine. It would have been tough for me to meet him, but you didn't have those preconceptions. But it seemed to me, reading the book, y'all hit it so quickly over the guitar when he realized you could play and sing. Tell us about that. How you became such fast friends.
Well, John was always an extremely welcoming kind of person. You know, he was that
That's
easy.
John now. Call him.
John, I told you, don't call me here, John. Sorry, John. John was just the kind of person who made you feel at ease, so it was very hard to feel uptight around him, you know, unless you were carrying some kind of preconception with you. What happened was I had to go and see him after this initial meeting in New Orleans when he performed, and I told him I was interested in maybe doing an article. So I went to meet him and his wife Fiona up in Nashville, and so we went into a sort of library room or study in their brand new house that they had just gotten, and we sat around, and John asked me a bunch of questions, just, you know, what are you doing, what are you interested in, blah, blah, blah. He asked me if I was a musician. I said, yeah, I play guitar, sort of like Mississippi John Hurt, that kind of style. And there was a guitar in every room at John's house, really and truly, so there was always within reach. You know. So when he heard me say I played guitar, he got up and walked to the corner of the room and grabbed the guitar and brought it over and stuck it in my hand. I was like, what is this, you know? Am I being auditioned, you know? So I started playing, I think I started playing I'm Satisfied by Mississippi John Hurt. And after a couple, you know, like maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, John sort of chimed in and started singing along with me.
Oh man!
And I thought, yeah, I just thought, oh man, what a thing to experience. And we just went ahead and just rocked out and sang, and then we talked, and then it was like, come on down to Florida, we'll do an article. That's fine, we'll do it. So I went to Florida, and we did like a road trip from Gulfport, Florida, down to Sarasota. He had just the night before I got there, he had gotten a 1977 Coupe de Ville on eBay.
As one does.
Don't we all? I mean, so he had it shipped down from Pennsylvania. He bargained the seller down from $13,000 to $10,500. I was very proud of that. So we went out, but it turned out. Well, I could read you the beginning of it, which can sort of put that into context. But we had a great time doing our little trip down there, and it just became like that line in Casablanca, you know, the beginning of a beautiful friendship. That's really what it was.
Yeah, as you have it in the book, there's a great scene. Y'all go shoe shopping.
Yeah, well,
shoe shopping with John Prine. That was not on my bingo card.
It wasn't my idea. It was not my idea.
And you had gotten so close that you're making fun of each other's shoes.
Yeah.
You're really going to buy those? Really?
Right.
You're like, And he referred to you as the shoe police.
The shoe bully. Well, even worse, he called me because I made fun of him because I said he had gotten these topsiders and they had these sort of eyelets in it that were really, really bright. So I said it's a good thing that they throw in the shoes when you buy the eyelets. And so, yeah, but anyway, it was a fun day.
You also, there's a wonderful detail in that first meeting in the library where you play guitar, and you mentioned you like Mississippi John Hurt, and I guess as you're leaving or whatever, Prine reaches up on his library shelf and pulls down a biography of Mississippi John Hurt that just had come out, hands it to you and says, bring it back next time.
Bring it back next time. And I sort of thought, oh, so that means there'll be a next time, you know? The implication was that I'd be seeing him again, which is like a very welcome idea.
So he has a home down in Sarasota, is that right? Or is it in Gulfport?
It's in Gulfport, which is like a little sort of an annex of St. Pete, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, a beach community, kind of a lot of ex-hippies there. It's just a very laid-back place, great place.
Yeah.
It took a really bad hit in the storm.
And he does stuff like in his new Cadillac. He didn't know if it was going to drive or not. I think it overheated, did it not on that?
Well,
I mean,
I'd have to read the beginning of the book. I can't just.
Oh, I don't think we can. We'll save that. We'll save that. I don't want to blow it for you.
Well, but everything. I mean, on that whole drive. I mean, he had. I asked him at one point. The seatbelt didn't work, and on the passenger side, his seatbelt was fine. You know, and so at one point we were driving along, and I saw what I thought was a police car up ahead, and I said, John, you know, what are the laws here in Florida? I mean, I've been holding I was holding the strap across my chest the whole way. And he said, well, we could just get you a T-shirt with the strap painted on it. Take it off. And I said, well, isn't that a cop up there? He said, I can't see that far. You know, and then it turned out, I said, well, aren't you afraid maybe the police? He said, no, don't worry, I don't have legal plates on the car. I put them on he took them off his RV the night before. Oh, Lord. Anyway.
You and I would get the book thrown at us, but the guy pulls John Prine over, and it's,
yeah, it would be like
that. I do want to touch on, we do want to hear you read and talk more about it. John Prine loved a good meal, and you did a great interview with Jason Wilbur, his guitar player for years, talked about how they even sometimes would plot the tour route around restaurants.
Right.
It makes perfect sense to me. Yeah.
He really loved Dairy Queen, and he did. And there would be these little restaurants, that's right, in places. There was this place in Pennsylvania, the Blue Bell, just a series of these different places. Yeah. No, John loved to eat. One of the reasons why I called the book Living in the Present with John Prine is John Prine always liked to be there, playing music, talking trash, you know, telling stories, eating, anything. But that was his whole thing, was to really be, he was one of the most present people, and he made you want to be present, you know, playing music above all, probably, you know, and have the opportunity to sit around and play with him till the wee hours around the dining room table. He had a song, How Lucky Can One Man Get? You know, that song was one of his great songs, and I always think, how lucky can one man get? Yeah. I got really lucky meeting John.
Man, you really did, and you did him a good job with this book. I will ask you. There's so many stories you can tell, but to tell our audience about the song "Paradise," and when he played it for his dad.
Oh, that's a very poignant story.
Yeah, we have just a couple of minutes. Just the idea of that.
Y'all
know the song I'm talking about, where
Paradise is, Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County? Are there Prine fans in the audience?
Basically, the idea is they literally bulldozed this town away that was his dad's, and they would go down there for the summers, and John went down there. At some point, he was gone.
Yeah, that's right.
But the idea of him going in the next room to hear it and everything.
Well, so when John's first record came out, that first record was like a bomb going off. Every track on it was great. There was Angel from Montgomery, there was Hello in there, Donald and Lydia, there was Illegal Smile. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was just one of the greatest records ever. And one of the songs was Paradise. And so he brought the acetate, you know, in the days they make a little provisional pressing for you, give it to the artist. So he brought it back to his house in Maywood, Illinois, and played it for his dad, who was quite a character in his own right. And his father went into another room in the house to listen to the recording. And when it was over, he came back, and John said, why'd you go in the other room to listen to it? And his father said, I wanted to make believe I was hearing it on the jukebox. And it was not too far after that John's dad died. And if you know the song Mexican Home, I cried his father died on August 16th out on the porch, and he put that into the song Mexican Home. And that was the first song that I ever heard John do live, where I kind of realized I had tears rolling down my cheeks, and I thought, what is this all about?
And did your dad also pass on?
My dad also passed on August 16th.
Oh, man.
A different year, but the same date.
I knew this was going to happen. I'm eating into your time here.
No,
I do want to hear. No, I could do this literally all night. I'm a big Prine fan, but we want to hear from you. So,
okay.
I believe maybe you're even going to play that guitar.
Jim wanted me to play a guitar tune. So
yeah, because I knew you didn't want to. Tom Piazza, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to read a very, very brief portion just from the beginning of the book, just to give you a little sense of the flavor of the book. This was something, I wrote an article, this appeared in the Oxford American magazine, and I'll read you just and it became the opening of the book too. So, I'm leaning against a cherry red 1977 Coupe de Ville at a Citgo station in Gulfport, Florida, waiting for the car's owner to emerge from the attached convenience store. It's got to be at least 95 degrees out here, and the heat waves coming off the football field-sized hood are hypnotic. They bring out the deep luster of the paint job with its overtones of nail polish, lipstick, and Mad Dog 2020. I see we have a few fans of Mad Dog 2020. It takes a while, but John Prine finally appears, wearing a big smile and carrying 2-gallon jugs of water. Just in case, he says. That's a long bridge coming up. We're headed for Sarasota, and between it and us stretches a very long causeway, the kind where they tell you to check your gas level before you start across. The car was only just delivered to him 2 days ago, and aside from a turn or two around the block, this is its first serious drive. So I said, isn't there coolant in the radiator? I don't know, he says. We'll find out. When it starts smoking, we'll pull over and get a beer. Prine radiates a sense of well-being, along with a sort of amused nonchalance toward potential disaster. This is a good thing, because the coupe, as it turns out, has no passenger side safety belt. Or rather, it has the shoulder belt, but the thing on the seat into which it's supposed to latch is missing. I noticed this a while back, and it worried me for a few minutes. But then I thought, if you're going to buy the farm, it might as well be in a 77 Coupe de Ville with John Prine. Okay, so Jim prevailed on me to do a song, so I'm going to do the song. I think, my guess is if y'all are John Prine songs, you know this. John Prine fans, you know this song. And I'm going to hope that you will chime in with me. So I'm singing this on the refrain. You know this song. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol, and I was just a soldier on my way from Montreal. Well, she pressed her chest against me about the time the jukebox broke. She gave me a peck on the back of my neck. These are the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, throw away your papers, to the country I'm listening, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try to find Jesus on your own. sat there at the table and I acted real naive, 'cause I knew that topless lady had something up her sleeve. She danced around the bar room and she did that hoochie coo, singing her song all night long. Tell me what to do. Blow up your TV, throw away your papers, move to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat one peaches. Thank you. You all found Jesus on your own. I guess I'm a little nervous. Okay, John, I'll do better on this last chorus. Well, I sat there. No. This is terrible. I'm nervous. I can't believe it's ridiculous. It's a funny thing when you get your biggest applause of the night for being nervous. Okay, that's good. Well, I was young and hungry and about to leave that place when that topless lady, you know, she looked me in the face. I said, you must know the answer. She said, no, but I'll give it a try. And ever since that day, we've been living our way. Here is the reason why. Come on, blow up your TV, throw away your papers. No, we didn't. We moved to the country, build us a home, plant a little garden, had a lot of children. Oh, I'm messing up, but that's all right. We all found Jesus on our own. We all found Jesus on our own. Thanks, everybody.
Tom Piazza, living in the present with John Prine. Tom will hang out with us after the show and sign your copies, and those copies you're going to buy for all your friends who are Prime fans. It is just a wonderful read. Great job, Tom. Tom Piazza, one more time.
Thank you, Tom.
Good man.